Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, we are about to start the meeting in relation with the student chapter inauguration of TMA, Kerala Agriculture University MBA Students Chapter, and webinar on Indian economy opportunities post-COVID. We start off with a silent prayer. I request everyone to please remain silent. Thank you. Now, to welcome the gathering, I request Professor Dr. E.G. Ranjit Kumar, Director, MBA, ABM, College of Corporation and Banking and Management, Kerala Agriculture University, to deliver his welcome address.
Good morning. And am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Very good morning to all. Respected President of the function, Professor Dr. V.M. Xavier, President TMA, our guest of honor, CATS Anantharaman, sir, former chairman of Catholic Syrian Bank and the past president of TMA, Mr. Pratap Voki, the honorary secretary of TMA, CA Manoj Kumar, coordinator of the TMA Students Chapter, and other dignitaries of TMA, and all those persons who are watching this inaugural function on the online platform, and my dear students. It's my immense pleasure and pride to welcome our guest of honor, CATS Anantharaman, sir, former chairman, Catholic Syrian Bank, and the past president of TMA, to this August function. Apart from being a business magnifico, Anantharaman, sir, is a professional of impeccable integrity, an erudite scholar and a prudent administrator with a human approach imitable by young entrepreneurs and upcoming managers. Anantharaman, sir, is a man admired in the professional circuit for his distinct style, attitude, approach, and humility. Since a separate introduction of the guest of honor follows, I limit my words. With all respect and humility, I extend a warm welcome to CATS Anantharaman, sir, for accepting the invitation to inaugurate the TMA MBA ABM Students Chapter and to bless the occasion with your words of wisdom, which will definitely be a reservoir of inspiration and energy for the budding managers to begin their professional pursuit. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Again, with us, we have our dynamic and vibrant president of TMA, Dr. V.M. Xavier, sir, who is a former professor and head of the MBA program of the esteemed John Mathai Center, who is a well-wisher of our MBA program and an electrifying personality with dynamism, zeal, and precision. His distinct role of planning and executing various initiatives has helped Xavier, sir, to craft a unique space in the academia as well as in the industry. On this occasion, on my personal behalf and on behalf of CCBM and the MBA ABM program, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir, for blessing the occasion with your gracious presence. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Pratap Voki, who is the honorary secretary, TMA, is a prudent organizer and an administrator in person with lots of positive energy, foresight, and humility. Mr. Pratap Voki has agreed to take up this task of introducing our high-profile guest of honor, CATS Anantharaman, sir, which has lightened my job. I take this opportunity to extend a cordial welcome to you, sir. Welcome, sir, Pratap, sir. Coming on to TM Manoj Kumar, who is the coordinator of the TMA Students Chapter, is a man of versatility. His untiring efforts to groom and nurture young managers is highly applauded. Mr. Manoj is a streamlined organizer who always stays with us and supports all our endeavors for academic excellence. On this occasion, on my personal behalf and on behalf of the MBA program, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Manoj, sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Last but not the least, I extend a wholehearted welcome to all the beloved students of KU MBA, other members of the CCBM family, and other dignitaries of the TMA, and all those who are attending this program online. A warm welcome to the inaugural session of the TMA MBA ABM Students Chapter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ranjit, sir, for the formal welcome. We also welcome you to this session.
Thank you, sir.
I request the president of TMA, Dr. V.M. Xavier, to deliver his presidential address.
Good morning to all. respected Chief Guest of this day, TATS Anantharaman, Director of Agriculture University MBA program, Dr. Rajit, Honorary Secretary of TMA, Mr. Padavati, Student Chapter Convener, CA Manoj Kumar, Class Persons of TMA, members of TMA, Mr. Anu, the President of Bankers Club Teaching and the members of Bankers Club, students of MBA Agri-Business Management, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, I am very much delighted when CA Manoj Kumar asked me to preside over this meeting and say a few words. Every year we start this inauguration of the student chapter in each college at the beginning of the first semester. But because of this pandemic, there were a lot of uncertainties. Nobody knows when the college will open. Nobody knows whether it will be physical or online. So a lot of confusions were there. But now, after this COVID, we have learned so many new lessons or new normals. We are tuned to the digital transformation. We are tuned to work from home. That's the reason why we find this much attendance today. Earlier, when we conduct this kind of physical program, we may get 30, 40, 50 like that, and it is very difficult task for the organizers. But now it is an easy task. Relation people is very easy task, and people enjoy it because of this digital transformation. And working from home, that is really important. And as far as this MBA program of Kerala Agriculture University is concerned, I am very much close to that MBA program of Kerala, because I was the former faculty of MBA Agri-Business of Kerala Agriculture. Not only that, the beginning of this MBA program of AU, the authorities of university was having an approach of temporary attitude to the MBA program of Kerala Agriculture University. So during those times, the Vice Chancellor invited some of the experts in this area, and I was one of the persons invited for that meeting. And we were arguing for continuing this MBA program in Kerala. So now I find KU MBA program is one of the best in the country in Kerala. It has got a lot of uniqueness. One, the focus of this MBA program at Kerala Agriculture University is mainly to agriculture-related activities. That's very unique. And another important thing that I have noticed in the intake of the MBA students at Kerala Agriculture University, most of them are professionals. Many of them are engineers or agriculture graduates. We find a few number of students who are coming from the ordinary stream of courses like B.Com, BBA. Majority is 75 to 90% will be professional students. And in Kerala, this may be the only institute where they are taking professionals. And another feature of this MBA program is that many of the students are coming from outside Kerala. So a cross-cultural interaction will be taking place in Kerala. That way, it is becoming one of the premier institutes of Kerala. Congratulations to Dr. Rajit Kumar for leading this session. And my dear students, as you know, in MBA, we give stress or say we focus on mainly three things. One is acquiring more knowledge. Because knowledge is wealth. Long back, King Solomon has said, you have to sell your gold and silver and acquire more knowledge. So acquiring more knowledge is very important as far as MBA program is concerned. And I know in Kerala, Agriculture University MBA program, Agri-Business MBA program, I'm sure Ranjit Kumar sir is finding out the best faculty available in Thrissur and its surroundings. And most of them are invited guest faculty so that we can take the best among the faculties available. So knowledge part is taken care. Another important part required is the skills. Knowledge alone is not sufficient to perform well as a professional in the communities. So you have to develop your skills, the organization skills, the communication skills, interpersonal skills, the negotiation skills, social skills. You have to develop a lot of skills, and that skill can be developed through your 2-year course at Kerala Agriculture University. I'm sure Dr. Ranjit Kumar and other faculty will be taking you to improve your skills when you are studying at this particular institute. And the third most important thing required is your attitude or your character. That is also very important. Nowadays, what we find among the students, their lack of good attitude. They don't care, or they don't have the positive attitude. But that you have to develop yourself. And only people with good character, good attitude will be absorbed by the communities across the world. And I'm sure the students, all of the students have got very bright future in the coming days. Don't think that the present situation. Of course, after the COVID is over, within 1 month or 2 months, the Indian economy will back to the normal growth, no doubt at all. Because Anantharaman sir is going to deliver a talk and he will be telling the same thing. We can expect the Indian economy, you will find it turn around within a month or 2. You may not wait for years to get back to the range. So you will get a lot of opportunities in the coming days. So you have to sharpen your knowledge, sharpen your skill, and go with a positive attitude, a good character. I'm sure all of you
Dr.
will
Xavier, clear alla.
Yes.
Clear
Okay.
alla, Dr. Xavier. കുറച്ചുകൂടി സൗണ്ടിൽ പറയുന്നു.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So all of you will get a better prospects. And I wish all the best for these TMA, AU, Agri-Business Management program. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
There is some disturbance in the network. I understand, but everyone is muted. Only Xavier was unmute, but there is some disturbance in the network. Sorry for that. Now, to a very pleasant task, I request Mr. Pratap Vakil to formally introduce the chief guest of the day.
Good morning to all. President Sir, Dr. Xavier, Dr. Ranjit Kumar, Manoj, Chief Guest, Anantharaman Sir. It's my pleasure and it's my honor to introduce a person like Anantharaman Sir to our August gathering like this. He is one of our directors, and when he joined our company as a director, the whole system changed and changed for good. I'm very sure what he's going to speak and what he's going to deliver will benefit all of you, for sure. Let me introduce you T.S. Anantharaman Sir. First is academic qualification. He's a Bachelor of Commerce, 1965, first class, and he's the youngest chartered accountant in India. He became a CA at the age of 19, where the age where we used to freak out and things like that. He has become a chartered accountant at the age of 19. He's a member of British Institute of Management, 1976. And if I go with this profile, I think it'll take probably an hour or more, but I'll just keep it short. He's an investment consultant for the last 30 years, an experience in Indian capital market and banking. Chairman, Leo Pharma Group of Companies. He's a director of Kalyan Jewelers, member of Academic Council St. Thomas College, Thrissur, and he's the author of the best-selling book, Stock Market Wisdom, which was sold. I don't know how to describe that. He just published and it just vanished into the market. That was one of the best books which I think stock market have seen. He was a chairman of Catholic Stream Bank, and he's a person who changed that bank into a profitable bank. It was running in loss, but he changed it. The market capitalization went to 4,000 crores. He's the founder, chairman, and managing director of Peninsular Capital, vice president of Stock Exchange, Kochi Stock Exchange, director of several listed companies, Manappuram Finance. He was a director, head of Department of Accountancy and Management Studies, University of Botswana, assistant finance manager, National Housing Corporation, Tanzania, partner of leading firm Chartered Accountant Thrissur, lecturer of management studies in Thomas College. He was the president of Chamber of Commerce. He was the president of TMA. He is a member of Executive Committee in National Stock Exchange of India, Bombay, General Secretary, All Kerala Chemist and Druggist Association, Cochin. Nominated member of committee at Regional Council, Chennai, Central Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And lifetime, he is the honors which he's got: Lifetime Achievement Award of School of Management Studies, University of Calicut and Thrissur Management Association, Management Excellence Award of Surya TV, Thrissur Pauravali and Chamber of Commerce in Thrissur. His wife is Girija Anantharaman, business, pharmaceutical, children. He has two daughters, that is Deepa, who is a AICWA India and CPA USA, and Divya, who is a ACCA UK PhD from Columbia University, USA, and he has traveled more than 50 countries. And he is advanced practitioner of yoga, and he is a very good family friend of mine. With this, I introduce a great person, and I am sure today's students and everybody will be enlightened by this knowledge. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pratap, the Honorary Secretary of TMA and MD of Sun Hospital Group. I was wondering how Pratap will introduce Anantharaman, sir. With the long and beautiful career, Pratap, you did justification for your job. Thank you. Now, to inaugurate the TMA students chapter for Kerala Agriculture University MBA ABM students chapter, as well as to deliver inaugural address and deliver the technical session on Indian economy, opportunities post-COVID, I request Anantharaman, sir, to please. Anantharaman, sir, you're on mute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Manoj. Professor Xavier, the esteemed chairman of TMA, president of TMA, Dr. Ranjit Kumar, my good friend and excellent credentials in KAU, CA Manoj, doing great job with our students chapter. Pratap Worki, my very, very good family friend and secretary of TMA. Other dear members, my dear students. Just now, CA Manoj said Pratap did justify the biodata, whatever it is, but now I'm not very sure if I am going to justify the highly created expectations. Anyway, it is indeed a great opportunity for me to interact and spend maybe an hour or so with the new bright students as well as existing students of MBA of the very highly esteemed Kerala Agricultural University, a place I greatly admire for the quality of the work, the quality of the faculty, and definitely the excellent students there. I have visited many times. I only wish it was a physical meeting so that I could share the chemistry with the students and understand them more what to do. This is the best we can do under the conditions. But anyway, it's a great opportunity and I'm delighted to address the students. That on a topic like Indian economy, the opportunities post-COVID. Let me straight away enter that topic. COVID occupies headlines, digital, print, discussions, any media, anywhere two people join together, the topic is COVID. And I would say, as Nicholas Taleb, the great author of the book called Black Swan, he said, COVID is a black swan event. What is a black swan event? Especially for students who may not know that. That's a book I strongly recommend every management student to read, a book called Black Swan. Black Swan is a rare event which has got extreme impact in the society. So COVID is such an event. It doesn't occur often. The last event similar to that was 100 years back, what we call that plague or whatever it is, something about 100 years back. So it's very rare and its impact is extreme. The whole world is reeling under the COVID menace. Last year, there was terrible shock in India. Let's talk about India now, as well as total uncertainty about the future. It was a shocking event, and we did not know when it will end, what is its impact, how is it going to pan out. We had no clue. But luckily, India did relatively better compared to other parts of the world. The management or its impact, whatever it is, relatively muted. It was not that very widespread. It was uncertain. We were worried about it, but its impact was not serious. I don't think many people known to us or related to us died at that time, just for example. But COVID 2.0, what we are experiencing now, it is definitely shocking, unexpected, and it's much bigger in its impact. It's affected every person around, every family can count a few of their friends or relatives who are either in hospital or who are dead or who are seriously affected. So its impact is much more. But this interesting thing is, you look at the future. Last year, we didn't know what is in store for us. But today, we have reasonable comfort despite its serious impact. Why reasonable comfort? Because vaccines, 2, 3, 4 vaccines have been already discovered and it is in the market. The vaccines are available. And we have the experience of many countries now in the last 1.5 years. Many countries have gone through various stages of COVID. And countries like America, at least at this moment we can say, because I can say with more authority because I have 2 daughters, both of them live in America. I get a daily account of what is happening there. Now, thanks to the vaccination drive, very serious vaccination drive in that country, they say life has come back to almost normalcy. Things are returning to normalcy with such speed that by 1st June, that is day after tomorrow or so, they say most of the restrictions will be removed. So despite its very severe impact, COVID 2.0, what we are experiencing now in this country, looking at the future, there is some type of comfort. Mainly because, as I told you, vaccine impact, experience of other countries, and the massive response to counter the ill effects of COVID by government response as well as response by the central bank. In India's case, the Reserve Bank of India. The government of India as well as the Reserve Bank of India have come with massive support to remove the negative impact of COVID in the economy and other aspects. Because of all these things, we know despite its seriousness, it's only a 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month problem. Maybe a quarter, 1 quarter of a year, we will be definitely out of that. It might take another 3-4 months for us to get what they call the COVID immunity, the vaccine immunity, and get the various variants under control. But we know fully well, it is only months, not years, maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months. The economy would definitely open up, but in a very calibrated way. We cannot open the entire thing because we still do not know whether there is going to be a COVID 3.0 or some new mutants or variants, as they say. But slowly, steadily, systematically, the economy is already getting opened up. I'm told in Bombay and Delhi, the impact is very much under control, and they're opening it from June 1st onwards. There's a lot of expert advice available, and there are experience of other countries available. So, to put it in simple words, the economic impact of that. Now it's getting clear. Financial year ending March 21, that means just 3 months back, our GDP, the gross domestic product, I'm sure all of you are completed your graduation. I think we will have a basic understanding of that. The GDP, the value of all the goods and services produced in the country. For the year ended March 21, there was a negative impact of -8%. Since independence, I don't think in India there was any year where there was so much of a negative impact on our growth. This is one of the worst, -8%. But the experts say the current year, April 21 to March 22, the running year, they say the economy will bounce back by 8 to 9%. So last year was -8. This year would be definitely +8. Even the pessimistic estimates say we will cross 8%. So when we reach March next year, March 22, we can say that we will be back to what we were in March 2020. That means 2 years have been wiped out from our memory. Although in our age calculation, it will definitely be added. But in the prosperity of the country or economy of our country, 2 years, it has just disappeared into thin air. This is the basic impact of COVID. The Reserve Bank is expected to be quite accommodative. Reserve Bank Governor Shaktigata Das is a very, very practical and sensible person. He has been one step ahead of the curve, anticipating what is likely to come and initiating steps and measures to counter the possible problem. With such an eminent person there, we can expect the Reserve Bank to continue to have easy monetary policy. And even the central government is expected to has done a lot in the last 1 to 1.5 years to help the needy. And we are expecting at this moment, after the COVID 2.0, the full impact is known, the government is expected to announce a lot of stimulus measures to help the MSME. MSME is the small and medium enterprises, the people at the bottom of the pyramid, what we call the very poor people, and the stressed sectors of the economy like hospitality, travel, tourism, airlines, the hotel industry. They're all suffering very badly. The government, the finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, has already announced that they are working out a package to revive these stressed sectors of the economy. Now, the developed countries like America, Europe, Australia, and all have already announced several measures. What I understand is they are pumping in more than $10 trillion just to reduce the impact of COVID. $10 trillion. What is that money? India's GDP is less than $3 trillion. Imagine that. They have pumped in more than 3 times India's size into the world economy to reduce the impact of COVID. So that in America, the government is sending in checks to every individual American. $1,500, $2,000 checks is deposited into the account of every American. What is the idea? COVID's impact, let them spend that money so that the economy gets a revival, get a boost. With that type of thing, the world economy is definitely likely to revive, and India is an integral part of the world economy. So to summarize, times are very tough, very difficult, especially the human tragedy is beyond any estimation or calculation, especially for people who have suffered, who have lost their father, mother, children like that, and who are very seriously in hospital. You cannot calculate the damage done to those families. But leaving that, we have low oil price. India is a big importer of oil. We have very low interest rates in the economy because the governments are pumping in a lot of money into the economy. When a lot of money enters the economy, interest rates normally go down. So we have low oil price, low interest rate, easy liquidity. Anybody, any businessman, industrialist, even an individual wanting money, you just go to the bank. Bank has got surplus money now. They want to somehow give it to you. And there is another economic aspect like shift from China. China has been dominating the world manufacturing almost in every major product lines. Now, world is worried about China's domination. So world says, we would like to develop one more country in addition to China, what we call the China plus one policy. And India is going to be a big beneficiary of that. So all these things put together, despite the misery and the difficulties, I would say there is definitely room for a lot of optimism. Am I clearly, can you hear me well, all of you?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So there is, so when I say there is room for optimism, somebody should not misunderstand. In the midst of so much of problem, why is this man saying that good things are happening? What I'm telling you is difficult times are here, but they are not going to last. It's only a matter of 2 months, 3 months, maximum 4 months. There is room for optimism. And when I say there is room for optimism, don't think I'm indulging in some fancy theory. You look at the stock market, which is the best mirror, which is the best indicator of things to come. Stock market is always about anticipating the future. The stock market is at all-time high. Yesterday, it crossed the all-time high in the market ever in India. The Bombay Stock Sensitive Index has crossed 51,000. 1 year back, it was at 25,000. It is more than double. When the stock market shows such performance, all of you should realize that something good is in store. Stock market can sometimes go wrong, but that will be for a short period. Over a long period, stock market always gives you a correct picture. So when stock market is ruling at all-time high, the optimism I talked about a few minutes ago, you can imagine it is not some fantasy or wishful thinking. It is very much real. To prove that, I'll give you some economic fundamentals, macroeconomic fundamentals. The foreign exchange reserves. It is at all-time high. It has crossed $592 billion. So most of you are students attending this class. So maybe 20, 25 years back, you may not realize our foreign exchange reserves had fallen below $1 billion. Below $1 billion. India's reserve. Now you go to companies like TCS, they are all sitting with $5-10 billion in cash. Each company is sitting with that type of money. The country's reserves are all-time high, 592 billion. The interest rate in the banking system is at all-time low. If you want a loan to start a factory, expand production and things like that, it's available at single digit. We could never imagine in my younger days, a bank loan means 15%, 20% interest. Today, loans are, I have a business, I am getting loans at 7%, 7.5%. All-time low. I never seen such low rates. Liquidity is plenty. You go to any bank with a good scheme, ask for a facility. They will go out of the way to accommodate you more than what you want. The inflation in the economy is at reasonable levels. very acceptable levels. The rupee, the indicator of the overall strength of the country, is very strong, resilient, I can say. And above all, we expect a decent monsoon. Everything said, even today in India, a lot of things are governed by the monsoon rainfall. And the predictions are that we are going to have another year of decent monsoon. So these are all very favorable factors, but don't think everything is honky-dory. There are red flags, there are issues, mainly regarding employment. Thanks to COVID, thanks to the other factors like the big floods or introduction of GST, which was messed up for a while, all these things put together, there has been serious unemployment in the country, which is a big red flag. Another worry that I personally feel about the country is our international credit rating. We need a good credit rating if we have to access the world markets. World markets have a lot of liquidity. If you have to go there and get that money for our country or our industry, you should have a good credit rating. India's credit rating is just above junk status. Anytime somebody can push it down a bit more and we could be in serious trouble. So these are some of the red flags. But overall, I would say the picture looks reasonably optimistic. This is what I just wanted to quickly give a review of the Indian economy, because the topic given to me was Indian economy and opportunities in the post-COVID age. But anytime I get a chance to interact with students, especially management, I always share some of my experience of industry, business, travel worldwide, doing business abroad and all that to see how we can benefit from that. I would say, as business students, you should realize that we are living in a very dynamic world. And here, the only constant is change. Change is a continuous, ever-evolving thing. And managing change is going to be the biggest challenge of management. We're all management students. You're going to be in management in various institutions, companies, organizations, service companies, all these types of things. Managing change. I always narrate this to my younger days. In my younger days, if you have a shop room in the town, in the round somewhere, your life is done. You don't have to worry about it. But today, you are not competing with your neighbor. Whatever you do, you are competing not with others in Kerala or India, you are competing with the world. So unless you equip yourself, unless you understand this, you could be wiped out. We are living in what we call an information-oriented world, where the richest societies of the Western world, they have shifted to what we call a knowledge-based economy, driven by information and communication technologies. There is an intelligence revolution sweeping the world, and every industry would be affected by that, will have to change. The survival of any business, industry, organization would depend upon their ability to understand and adopt to the new technologies. You will find suddenly in any industry, overnight you find a new leader emerging. You may be having a good life for the last 2 or 3 generations. Suddenly you wake up one morning, a new technology has come and it has entirely disrupted the business and industry that you are doing. That's why we always call the startup revolution is taking place. So you become irrelevant if you are not able to equip yourself with the best and the latest. The fact that you get a degree, university degree or an MBA, and if you think you are done with that, my dear students, you are completely wrong. You've got to equip yourself with the best and the latest on a continuous basis. Otherwise, you have no relevance. I always quote this thing in almost every speech I get a chance to make. The best known futurologist, he is no more now. His name is Alvin Toffler. He has written 3-4 books. Alvin Toffler. And if you get time as management students, you should read them. I'll strongly recommend that. One of his famous quotes, I want to repeat here. He said, the illiterates of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write. It will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. I'll repeat that portion. It is not enough if you understand reading and writing. No, that's not the thing. If you cannot learn something and unlearn it and relearn, because things have changed. In my younger days, there was no computer. So if I say computer is not required, we have lived our lives, you're completely wrong. If you cannot use a computer, for example, today, you cannot survive in this world of today. So you should have the ability to unlearn what you know and relearn. That means you're going to be continuously on your toes. Now, the richest in the world today, they are not the big landlords or the big millionaires. Who are the richest people? If it was a live classroom, I would definitely ask you to name those guys, but today I cannot do that. The richest guys today are Jeff Bezos, who runs the Amazon, or Bill Gates, who runs the Microsoft, or Mark Zuckerberg, who runs the, WhatsApp and Facebook and all those types of things. Warren Buffett, the best investor. These are the richest people in the world. So they're all technology-driven, technology-oriented people. So the message here is you've got to be on your toes, not rust with what you know, but willingness to learn new things, then the world is yours. I would say, as Indians, you're all very lucky to be born in this age, because the whole world considers Indians are the best brains in technology. We understand technology better than any other set of people. This is not our view. It's a view of the people all over the world, including America. And you take any top technology companies like Microsoft or Google or any of these companies, they have put an Indian at the top. It's because they have firm conviction that Indians are best suited. So as students, you are living in this age where technology is the dominating factor in everybody's life. So you are going to be in great demand all over the world. The world is aging. You go to countries like Japan and all, there are more old people than young people. India is said to be having the largest percentage of young and middle-aged people in the world. And that too, we are said to be understanding technology better than any other part of the world. So with these things, it is time for you. I would say you are very, very lucky people. Face the future with a lot of optimism and hope, because the world is waiting for you. India is already, we may be a third world country and many call us a developing country, but you look at many of the key areas today. We are the world leader. Vaccine maker, India. The payment system, the banking system. Who has got the most modern banking system or the payment gateways in the world? India. We are the largest makers of two-wheelers. We are the largest makers of IT services, producers of IT-oriented products. We are said to be the pharmacy of the world. So India is no longer the old country going with a begging bowl around the world asking for favors. No. We are a dominating force in the world, and the world is waiting to look at Indians and have Indians in their payrolls. Now, I'm coming to the last portion of my topic. To succeed in life, just a quick summary of what I said. If you want to be successful, you're going to understand and accept the changing realities, the dynamics of the world. You should be adaptive to the changing realities, willing to learn, adjust, and adapt to yourself, and preferably have an entrepreneurial mindset. There was a time when you could get a degree, go to Bombay or Delhi, get a job, and be satisfied in your life. I would suggest that in this new generation, unlimited opportunities are there. very nice startup ecosystem developing in this country. Every week you find new companies becoming billion-dollar companies. Every week, 1 or 2 Indian companies are becoming billion-dollar companies. So to take advantage of that, you need an entrepreneurial mindset, an open mind, looking around for opportunities where you can do something of your own. Have a positive mindset and be willing to work hard. If you have these things, I'll repeat it, a willingness to understand, accept, and adapt to the changing realities with an open mind and entrepreneurial mindset, having a positive mind and willing to work hard, I would say the potential is unlimited. The world is looking to India. And let me conclude by just telling you that if you want to have a meaningful life, I would say, in addition to all these degrees and success in life, I would say you should have integrity and values and a social orientation. What is integrity and values? You are going to be in management positions, fat salary, good positions in the companies and all that. I'm sure you all will be successful that way. But in those positions, you should have a good value system. You should understand what is the core of India, and you should have that integrity. You will never accept anything that is not professional and right in your job and responsibility. That system that should develop internally, that is one thing. And I would say a social orientation. To be in an institution like KAU, after a basic graduation, the society has given you a lot. So in return, after you complete your studies and when you go out into the market and start doing your work, you should give back to society, because society has given you so much. You should have that mindset to return back. So having integrity in your job and having a value system and a social orientation to give back to the society. Only with these things, I would say your life will be meaningful. I have lots more to say, but the time given to me, 30-35 minutes, is over. So let me stop at this place. And if there is time, if you have any questions, I'll be delighted to answer to the best of my limited abilities. Thank you very much. I hope each and every one of you will have a wonderful future. Thanks to all the organizers, TMA, KAU, for giving me this great opportunity to interact with the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anantharaman sir. It was really enlightening. Thank you very much. Now I request Xavier sir to say a few words. Sir, you're on mute. Xavier sir, you're on mute.
Yes. So can you hear me?
Yeah, now yeah.
Yes. Now, my dear students, my dear participants, as I told you in the beginning, we need not worry about what is happening today. Ram sir is a versatile genius in this area. And he said, it's a matter of time only to bounce back. Indian economy or India will be a happening place in future. So my dear students, once again, we tell you, the future is yours. You sharpen your knowledge, and also most important, knowledge skills are not only most important, the value system, the attitude, and the business ethics. It's all very important. And you are very lucky to get a person like C.A. Anantharaman sir, who was my teacher also when I was doing my BCom at St. Albans. And a person who knows the art of creating wealth, who knows the importance of Indian economy and world economy. And it was a beautiful session, and I wish once again all the best to the students, and I also thank C.A. Anantharaman sir for giving such a very wonderful talk in a very simple language. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now the floor is open for any queries to Anantharaman, sir. The first question came from Mr. Anup, the Bankers Club president. Sir, do you think agriculture as an opportunity has been explored as yet?
Thanks, Anup, for this question, because it's a very, very timely and topical one. Actually, the potential of agriculture, I am a farmer, basically. I have a fairly decent farm. So the potential of agriculture is least understood and exploited in our country. Although of late, we are a reasonably major exporter of many agricultural products to the world, the potential is not exploited, I would say, even 10%. So there is a growing realization in the government about the importance of agriculture. Our esteemed leader Modi talks about doubling the farmer's income and all that. But as a farmer, I feel nothing really is getting done at the ground level. You compare with countries, as Pradap said, I have traveled, I'm a wide traveler. Whenever I travel, I visit all types of places. When I look at the agricultural system in countries like Israel, or even in other countries in Asia, even like Thailand, Malaysia, or even Vietnam, we are far, far behind in productivity, except in areas like rubber or 2-3 small items. Our productivity is one of the lowest. So the quality inputs, proper expertise, reasonable size farms, all these things will create a revolution in agriculture, which will change the face of India. Without that, whatever one might say, India will remain an underdeveloped country. I hope people's attention is drawn to that. And I have greatest hope for agriculture if the right policies and priorities are put in place.
Any other queries? You can unmute yourself and just ask.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Joseph sir. Joseph sir, we can hear you.
See, Mr. Anantharaman was telling our economy will grow by March 22 by 8% positive. It is March 21, we are minus 8%. So that means we have to grow 16%. One quarter is already over. And we are expecting this will continue for another 1 quarter. And that is one question. So will it be achievable target?
Just to sir, can I just answer that? Sorry. Okay.
One more question is there. That is, to my understanding, from all universities and technical institutes and other paramedical and such institutions, almost 1.5 crores students will be coming out. And the job opportunities outside India is they are restricted to their own people. And in India, it is very limited. How to overcome this entrepreneurial skill among our youngsters is very, very low. As you also know, we often discuss in the TMA. So these are the two questions.
Yeah. As always, Joseph sir, very interesting points. See, on the growth side, I'm very clear. It is 8% growth from the lower level. That means not above compensating the previous minus, no. So 21, we were -8, 22 from the lower level +8. That means we reached the position we were 2 years back, 2020. So
that was 8% plus.
Yeah, we will be just 8% plus from the lower levels, not from the earlier levels, from the lower level. So that is definitely to be achieved, because already in the April, the growth was tremendous. Although in May it is bad. Very, very confident that we will cross 8%. It's going to be around 9 to 10%. That is one thing. And regarding employment opportunities, the only thing I can say is the GST and demonetization, all these types of things, I'm generally favorable for all those things. But the informal sector in India is in very, very serious trouble. The informal sector provides huge employment opportunities. The unorganized, the small petty shops, roadside vendors, people who carry things on their head, or small shops. All these are the informal sector. After the introduction of GST, demonetization, and very high standards in every business, certification. If you want to work in my office, stockbroker's office, you've got to be certified. If you want, the certification has come in a very big way in all aspects of our life. Is that required? Yes. You can never become a developed country unless you have certification at every level. But what is happening is, because of strict standards, the standards in a bank in India or the standard in a broking office in India, two places I know, is very often higher than the standards expected in the Western world. So what has happened is, the informal sector, because of all these things, is getting wiped out. The huge employment opportunity there is getting wiped out. And without a supporting base like you have in the developed world for the displaced, unemployed people, there's going to be a lot of confusion and chaos in this country. I fully understand that. But where I have some hope is the startup ecosystem. There's a tremendous growth in these startups. I have myself invested in at least 4 or 5 startups, and some of them are doing so well. From 10 employees last year to 120 to 300 next year. That's the type of growth in many of the startups that I have seen. And there are thousands of startups that are coming in this country. Some of them are becoming so good, rivaling the best in the world. We already have the education world #1 startup in Byju's, like that in many other areas. So that gives me some hope. And as a previous person who asked me the question, agriculture, the potential of agriculture, there's definitely improvement. In many, many areas, I can see improvement. With all these things, let us hope that the future may not be as bad as we think. I mean, I'm an optimist. Economy is going to grow. I have no doubts about that. When economy grows, more opportunities come. And let us hope things will work out. That's the only thing I could say at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, one important thing, I just want to request you to formally inaugurate the TMA student chapter of KAU MBA.
Oh yes, I have immense pleasure in inaugurating the KAU students' activities, and I hope in the coming year you are going to have a very active, energetic, dynamic year. Despite COVID, don't worry, this is a passing phenomenon. 3-4 months you'll be back to normalcy, and I hope you will have very active and dynamic year ahead. Great pleasure to inaugurate these activities.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Ashna Babu Verghese. Do you foresee the emergence of any new business model during the post-COVID period?
Oh, yes, definitely. Every business will get modified in one way or the other. Technology's impact will be there in every known business, including agriculture, services, industry, communication, every aspect you think. And new businesses already, as far as India is concerned, the hygiene ecosystem has already undergone such a drastic change. And newer business opportunities are definitely pharmaceutical. So many new types of introductions have come in the pharmaceutical industry. So many, many new things are going to come, no doubts about it. Even the startup ecosystem has produced newer things on COVID. Yes, certainly.
Next question is from Anjali Das ES. Nowadays, companies reduce their office strength and allowed employees to work from home. Educational system also follows the same for last few months. Will this result in total vanish of physicality of educational institutions and companies by shifting totally into virtual mode? What will be after effect then?
Yeah. See, that's an interesting topic being debated by all the top industrialists and businessmen. You would have heard TCS, India's probably one of the world's largest IT services company, the Rajesh Gopinathan, Malayali, is the head of TCS. He came out with the statement that by 2025, only 25% of the staff will be in the office. 75% would work from home forever. But the other day, we heard from Rishad Premji, the owner of Wipro, probably the second or third largest software company, that he does not foresee a total shift towards the work from home attitude. He says many people would continue to work from office and even others would have to come to the office. So that way, the office ecosystem is not going to disappear. It will be disrupted, but it's not going to disappear. That is one. And second point is, if you need, say, just for example, 100 square feet for a staff to work, earlier 100 people occupied 10,000 square feet. Now, instead of 100, 50 people might work from the office, but each one would require slightly more space because of the social distancing and all those types of things. So while I see disruption happening, and new systems like work from home, work from near office. There's another thing that is coming in between office and work. So clusters formed in various places. Lots of changes are going to come, but this office system and other things are not going to disappear. That I'm very sure, because man or woman is a social being. We need that interaction. For example, today, if I was addressing you physically, I draw a lot of energy from each and every one of you. Today, I am sitting in front of my iPhone and talking to you. I definitely feel something is not right that way, but there's no options of this. We choose that way. So once that option is available, I definitely take my car, drive through the greenery of Thrissur and reach your place and lecture there. So that's not going to disappear.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Ajit. As the farmers are continuing the protest on agriculture laws right now, will it affect the growth of the sector in the next financial year?
I'm not talking politics here. I'm talking economics only, because I understand politics, but I don't want to talk politics here. It is the farmers' agitation is a pure lack of understanding of what the farmers' laws are. I don't think 75-80% of the people who are agitating have not read the act. I had the chance to download the acts and go through the provisions, and I don't see anything negative for farmers. So it's only a matter of timing and adjustment, and politicians having their day. The acts are pro-farmer, and I'm sure that will take farming in India in a new, bigger, higher direction that we see in foreign countries. So I think it will be a temporary phenomenon. I'm not trying to take politics there.
Sure, sir. Next one is from Abhilash. Since you're an existing investor for a few startups, what are you looking at when you're investing in a startup?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm not an engineer. I'm a chartered accountant, so my knowledge is more brick and mortar in our generation. But as I've been advising you to understand the changing realities and change with time, I'm also trying to do that. So what I look for primarily is the promoter. The background of the promoter, the track record of the promoter, the expertise and the integrity. Beyond everything, the integrity, genuineness of the person. This is what I first look forward to. Then definitely I listen to, as I am one of the early investors in the new startup world, I've seen what type of institutions survive and prosper. So I try to enter a bit early, take a bit of risk. I've lost my money in 2-3 ventures, but one good venture is more than enough. Let me just give you an example. I invested in an education startup last year. I put in at a valuation, I put in some money. I don't want to disclose that amount. The valuation of the company was 10 crores. They had come out with some type of learning exercise where students could learn themselves as sitting at home, and by registering with this company, they can learn from any universities, many designed universities, special courses and things like that. Last year, I invested at 10 crore valuation. This year, Actually, today the final negotiation is going on at a valuation of 75 crores. This investment was made by me. I made a small investment. I'm not a rich man. I'm just an average person. So to the best of my ability, I invested last year. It has become, because the promoter was a person who had experience in Infosys, and a very serious person who have been interacting with me for quite some time. So looking at the background of that person, I made that investment. They have worked very hard. I've been encouraging them, supporting them in whatever way, mentoring more, giving them that confidence, because many of the startup guys are youngsters who have no experience in life. They get upset completely, they get frustrated. So I try to motivate them and things like that. And I can tell you that is the way to go. In the next 5-10 years, you're going to see world-beating startups from India. So integrity, honesty, track record, background, and their willingness to work hard and being very simple, they say the bootstrapping type of thing, where not have a fancy big office, all these things. And of course, products, I don't know much about that. I just have a general understanding. So these are the few things I look for.
Any other queries from the members? You can unmute yourself. So there are many appreciative messages coming in the chat, appreciating your simple and awesome narration.
Thank you, Mahesh. I think people are too nice to me. That's all what I can say. So it encourages me to do what little I could do always. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was a very good presentation and everybody appreciated it. As usual, it was fantastic.
Thank you, Venu. You are always very kind to me. Thank you.
And but one point which you told, I didn't agree. I'm not a rich man. I am a very small. That point.
True, sir. I also endorse it.
I also support.
I have some reservation. We don't agree with that point.
That is a humility, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Anantharaman sir, it was really brilliant. And the way you put it, so much positivity, in this COVID times, you have brought positivity and hope. And also the way you put it regarding the form loss, I 100% agree with what you said, and the future will tell. Thank you so much. And we are very blessed to have someone like you in Thrissur. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I support.
Thank you.
I support answer. So every day, if we get a positive dose like this, it will be always better. Every day morning, 2 doses.
Yeah.
Right, so thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Now we are going ahead with the next agenda. That is the vote of thanks. Respected Chief Guest of the day.
I have just because we may say that the COVID is a pandemic, but as far as TMA is concerned, it is not a pandemic. Our president is so vibrant that we are all busy on toes, and I think we should appreciate our president for making this COVID period so hectic and informative to all of us.
Tell me about it.
Indeed. Indeed.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I am myself Damodaran. Can I ask a question? Sir?
I am fine. If
Hello.
the organizers agree, I have no problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ramesha sir is our member.
Sir, Damodaran, myself Damodaran. Sir, at the outset, it was a brilliant speech indeed. I enjoyed it. But at the very outset, you said that you were quoting Nicholas Taleb, Black Swan.
Yes. Yeah.
And you try to, and I came to know that from a particular article in the Mint by Vivek Kaul on 17th May 21st, Nicholas Taleb has expressed his strong disagreement to connect the pandemic to Black Swan. I don't know whether you came across that. I don't know.
No. I have read the book Black Swan, and yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
that was an article by Vivek Kaul. COVID-19 pandemic is not a black swan event. He said that, and he is quoting Talib, explanations, human beings concoct explanations for its occurrence after the fact. He says so. So just to inform you that he has refuted. Talib himself has expressed his agreement to connect these two pandemic. Well, there were two warnings. He says there were several warnings. There was one article in HPR in 2017, and there was another forecast by none other than Bill Gates in 2018. Just to inform you that. That's only.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Ramakrishnan, are you going to ask?
I don't know. Whether I am able to give you or to.
No. It's interesting. Thank you very much. Actually, if there was a time, I could have taken 5 minutes to go into the black swan aspect and its comparison, but I think we are already running out. So thank you for that. I'll definitely read that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Ramakrishnan, you are asking anything? You are going to ask, I believe.
Sir, it's always pleasure to listen to you. It is very enlightening, Sir, I've got a couple of points to you. One is, if you look at it in the last few years, the whole, even the big McKinsey report that, the urbanization is to take place and, everybody has to move in. But it has been proved wrong by Bamboo, by Zoho Corporation. The people are moving into the villages and, even an IT company like it is happening. What's your view on that? Is it a time to move into urbanization, or is it a time to move into villages and create an infrastructure and get the employment? That's point number one. Point number two, you also mentioned about MSME and SME. Now, it's always mentioned that you need only about 2 lakh rupees to create an employment. The employment is rising very rapidly in India. I think if you look at the last month report, it is about 10+% in I think. What is your view, at least for the young entrepreneurs which is studying MBA, which are all the areas in your view we have to concentrate to create a lot of jobs in SMEs and MSMEs? Thank you.
Thank you, Ramakrishnan. Very imaginative points. I am a supporter of the movement towards villages. And I will narrate from my own personal example. As a stock trader, earlier I had to be in Bombay if I want to get some good business done. Today, sitting in my farmhouse in Ponukara, 15 kilometers from Thrissur, I have as much access to the market as somebody sitting in the street. So that is technology. So technology is such a great leveler. We are able to move inside, work from home or things like that. So that way, urbanization is likely to happen, but it need not be a big mega trend. Things will happen in villages also, improvement in technology, better networks, roads, all these things, I think, and emphasis on agriculture, new generation agriculture. Many people are moving towards farms and creating things like that. So that way, I believe villages will prosper and be in a better position compared to what it was 10, 15 years back. It's my personal view. And regarding employment, I think small and medium industries have to be encouraged. There is definitely a problem in running small, medium scale industries in India, especially after GST and after introduction of such high standards that in every aspect of business like the Western world. High quality certification, all these things, the cost of compliance is going up substantially. It's very difficult for a small to medium. A very small man may not find it that difficult because he may be out of the ambit of many of those regulations. But a medium enterprise is finding it extremely difficult today, especially the cost of compliance and other things. Government has to definitely look at regulations in tune with India. Now, why should we have each and everything American or German standards? Why should we have? I'm not asking for diluting the standards, the rigors of that. I can narrate direct examples from 2-3 businesses where I am involved in. I'm sure that should apply to every other business. The standards that, in the Western world, they have reached that level of prosperity, they can afford to have the final 100% thing. I think we should be happy with 90% or 85% or 92% in many of the things without diluting essential aspects. So I think some new thinking has to emerge to encourage the medium type industries. If we continue at the way that we are progressing, I expect the informal sector to get wiped out, and the big, large industries will not be able to absorb the teeming millions produced by Indians as well as the universities. Some fresh new thinking. I think Ramakrishnan, you had suggested in one of the meetings I attended after going to your German visit and said some very interesting points. I don't exactly remember. There were some very, very innovative ideas you mentioned in one meeting, I remember. So understanding the German polytechnic model or some such points you mentioned, whereby the people get to know the intermediate type of things as well, instead of the latest automatic machines and all, that type of thing. I think some fresh thinking is required.
Thanks, sir. Thank you very much. Maybe about 1.5 years back, somebody might have said we can do all this kind of meetings in this format. Maybe, it may be a joking. Today, the technology explosion has really taught us a lot of new things, because that's why urbanization is secondary today, in my view. I mean, you can go to anywhere in the village. I think we can create wonders. And, people like TMA, all Starbucks, because I always look at Thrissur is in a very, very high esteem, because maybe about 50,000-60,000 crore revenue is coming from some of the industries from Thrissur. It's an amazing place to be there. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for answering. It's always, as I was mentioned, it's a pleasure to listen to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, we are coming to the end of interactive session. Thank you, because we will go on listening to Anantharaman sir. It will be a pleasure listening to him. That's why it will go on today up till evening. So thank you very much. Now, with that, we are coming to the end. Now, with the student chapter inauguration of TMA KAU MPA student chapter, the students of KAU MPA can enjoy all the facilities TMA is providing, like management development program, employability programs, skill development programs, students young mentorship programs, hike-and business plan contest, and they will be also witnessing the monthly webinars which TMA is arranging. We are very much into for the student chapters also will be giving a separate webinars also. So students, enjoy this facility. Hope you will have a great time. Now moving on, I'm going to my task of thanking everyone. It was great listening to Anantharaman sir. Respected Chief Guest of the day, CATS Anantharaman sir, former Chairman, CSB Bank and past President of TMA, Dr. VM Xavier, President of TMA, Professor Dr. E.G. Ranjit Kumar, Director of KAU, Secretary Mr. Pradap Varki, past Presidents of TMA. I saw Venu sir, Anand Menon sir and Joseph sir in the meeting. Managing Committee members of TMA, students and faculties of Kerala Agriculture University College of Corporation and Banking, Anup sir, President of Bankers Club, and all other invited guests. Indeed, it was a great honor to me to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Thrissur Management Association. First, I offer my deep sense of gratitude to CATS Anantharaman sir, finding time in his demanding schedule to inaugurate the student chapter and put his excellent technical session. Thank you, sir, for your positive,
Thank you very much.
Positive outlook of Indian economy. Really, it means a lot to the student community as well as all the people who are listening. I'd like to thank Dr. VM Xavier, President of TMA, an academician for more than 40 years, for his presidential and very valuable address. Thank you, sir. I'm greatly obliged to Dr. E.G. Ranjit Kumar for the support he has given to TMA in helping us opening a student chapter in TMA in College of Corporation and Banking KAU. I thank Mr. Pradap Varki, Honorary Secretary of TMA, past presidents of TMA, managing committee members of TMA, faculties of College Corporation and Banking, finally the wonderful students of College of Corporation and Banking. Hope all the students who participated today got a positive vibe from today's webinar. The future is all yours. go and conquer it. Thank you for your active participation. Thank you all. I request President Dr. V.M. Xavier to formally adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
So, my dear students, once again, I would like to remind you that you will be treated as the members of TMA hereafter. And to be a member of TMA is a prestigious thing, especially in Thrissur. And once you become the member of TMA, you get a certificate from TMA after the end of your course. And TMA is affiliated to all India Management Association. So whenever you go for some employment opportunities in India, this certificate will be very valuable. And you have to work with TMA always, because as you know, your institute is a sister institution of TMA. In all activities you come and you participate, that's a way how you can improve your skills. And also you can interact with people like Anantharaman sir, people like Anantharaman sir. So many people you have seen here. And a lot of such people are here with TMA. You can have a networking, you can have an interaction, and that will improve your confidence. So it's a better place to develop yourself. Once again, I thank you for your appreciation. And I thank once again sir for opening this TMA Agri-MBA program student chapter here. And it is better late than never. We have started it now, and we can cooperate with each other, and we will be providing more resources. Yeah, exclusively for the students of with that, once again, I thank all the participants and also CATS sir, and I declare this meeting is open. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We had more than 100 members throughout the session. Thank you very much.
Vijay sir, it's a big success. Vijay sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.